Hello guys, Naomi here. I'm an independent consultant with Jamberry Nails, and I'm going to show you a very simple beginner way to get a really nice smooth application onto a curved fingernail. If you have flat fingernails, Jamberry wraps are super easy to put on. If you have slightly curved fingernails, you can see my ring finger here. If you look from the top, it's quite arched this way. It can be a little harder. And then again, if your nail is arched that way as well, makes it kind of a three-dimensional shape, and it's a little harder to get something flat to lie on there nicely. So I'm going to show you a way that'll give you a pretty good smooth application, and that's really simple. So first we're going to start with picking a wrap that's the right size. You don't want anything that's too wide. I'm going to use this little houndstooth sample. I can wrap it over and I know it's not going to touch on my skin there. It's not going to touch on my skin there. So first what I'm going to do is I have a metal spoon pusher here, and I'm going to make sure I've got no cuticle tissue hanging out on my fingernail. I am very, very gently scraping it clean. I recommend using a cuticle softener if you want. Jamberry's got a great cuticle softener. Or soaking your hands beforehand if you need to. Before you apply your wraps, your nails need to be completely dry though. So I'm just going to use the other side of this tool, taking off anything that's left there, nice and clean. There we go. Next step, remove any oils on the surface. This is our nail prep cleanser. You could also use rubbing alcohol if you don't have this. So I'm just going to take my little cotton pad here, and these have a nice pump top on them, so I'm just going to put a little on here, and I'm going to clean it off very thoroughly. I make sure that I get right in the creases in between like the nail and the skin, so right to the edges. That's super clean, nice and dry. There we go. Alright, so now for the wrap, I'm going to take the end of my little cuticle pusher here. These plum cuticle pushers come in our application kit, and instead of picking up the wrap with my fingers, I pick it up with the back end of my stick. Your fingers have oils on them. Those oils will keep the wrap from sticking properly. So I have my heater running here. I'm not actually going to heat my wrap up first like they do in the official video. When you're a beginner, it's a lot easier to line your wrap up when it's cold and it's not soft and floppy when it gets hot. So I'm just going to go ahead here and I'm just going to lay it down just sort of approximately where I want it. I have to hold on to it so I can get it to let go of the stick here. And then you can always turn it over and just sort of guesstimate, make sure you've got it sort of centered. That looks pretty even to me. So I'm going to go ahead with that. So now I'm going to warm it up with the heater, now that I know I've kind of got it in the right spot. If it wasn't in the right spot, when it's cold, it's easy to pick it up and adjust it. So now that it's hot, I'm going to do the middle first. So I'm doing the top of this arched nail. Up and down. And by now, because I've moved it away from the heater and pressed on it, it's actually cooled off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat this side here, nice and warm. And then I'm going to go down right in the middle. Right in the middle. So I'm kind of going across the belly here. And I'm going to do that again on this side. So what I've done is I've kind of sealed a cross shape. I've gone down the middle and I've gone down the middle of each side. So now I'm going to heat it up again down near the cuticle, and I'm going to push all of that in and seal it down really nicely. These rubber cuticle pushers are awesome. I consider them an essential tool for putting these things on. And then I'm going to heat it up at the top and get the last little corners that I haven't hit yet. So that's the top corner sort of by the edge of my fingernail. And the more you press and push and smooth and scrub, the smoother your application is going to be. I'm just going back and forth across the tip here. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to take the curved scissors. These also come in our application kit. And I'm just going to cut off the extra that's kind of hanging off the end there. I didn't go right next to my nail. And I'm going to use my Jamberry nail file here. Any sort of ready nail file will work. And I'm going to go straight down. So I don't push up on the wrap at all. I pull straight down with each stroke, sort of rotating around the nail. And what you'll find usually is that you get a nice little hole here that starts. You just expand that across the tip, and then you'll have to angle it sometimes a little bit to get into the corners. And get that off. And there we go. Okay, so my extra has come off here. And you can just clean it up if there's any little bits. Make sure you really get into the corners. You don't want any wrap hanging off the edge of the nail, otherwise that will catch on things later on. So there we go. So now it's on there, and this is the magic part. We're going to heat this up really nice and hot. I'm going to heat my nail up hot. You can hold this for quite a while until it gets quite hot. We're going to iron this on. Basically, this is nice and hot now, like an iron. You might have to wait a little longer for it to get really, really hot. So now I'm just going, and this has like just the perfect curve to it to really get down next to the cuticle and push it on. I'm pressing right next to the sides, like that. And then I'm going over the tip, like that. So now it is really, really well pressed on. And you can see, go on the side here, there are no wrinkles on the sides. No wrinkles at the cuticle, no wrinkles on this side, no wrinkles at the tip. It is just smooth, smooth, smooth. So that's a really easy beginner way to do that. If you find that you are having trouble, there's more advanced techniques that you can use where you put in like little slits on the edges to sort of shorten the sides a little bit. But this is a great, great way to start, and you'll get a beautiful, smooth Jamberry nail. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.